Right. We are back in Battle Brothers. Day 44. Let's take a quick progress check. It's been a little while since I've actually been recording, so Bukowsis is our sergeant. He's B team though. Just want to take stock real quick of where we are. Nightmare. He's got an injured kneecap. We've got Krytar, who's a level 5 raider. Okay. Interesting that I took Pathfinder on him. We've got Kogatla, A-team mace user. Nice. Pi. Oh, the iron-lunged flail user. Padden, our dagger master. Brennan Campana. Hang on, the old music level's a little high. So lads, I'm hoping that the flickering issue is sorted now and the audio issues are sorted as well, so apologies for that. Thank you for your patience as I learn how to do this Twitch thing. Got a couple level 1s here, which means we've got to be careful, man. Jungian is still an absolute beast. 27 kills, level 6, 72 range skill, pretty damn good. So we've got our skulls. What we don't have is a second archer, and if memory serves, yeah, that's really going to be our next major priority, is trying to get our hands on a good archer. Now, again, I'm going to want a hunter or a witch hunter, so let's just reacquaint ourselves with this map. And when looking to hire a hunter, you got to find the city that has a hunter's shed in it, because would you believe it, a city with a hunter's shed is going to have hunters. Fishing huts. What is this here? That, oh, it's a dye maker. Militia barracks. Arrow makers. So in this city with the militia, you'll be more likely to find militiamen there to hire. Arrow makers shed, you'll be more likely to find bowyers there. What is this? Okay, amber collector. I think it's either random, but in experience, if you're going to find a hunter's cabin, it's more likely to be in mountain or forest terrain, particularly. What is that? I think that could have been a hunter's... Yeah, that looked like it was one, but it's been destroyed. Eisengrab has iron ore, copper, Eichendorf. There it is, hunter's cabin. Okay. So, let's go work around Eichendorf for a while as we keep leveling everybody up, as we keep earning money, and then essentially every time we can spare 1,000 gold, we'll hire a hunter and hope that they're any good. Daily rate 203, not too much. And we need to have 2 men with a hammer mastery perk now. If I remember correctly, one of the raiders already has hammer mastery, and then we've got a second one that I've identified as a raider who will be an A-team raider, but he's only level 1. So if I can get a mission like a patrol mission or something where I know I'm going to be fighting a lot, I'll chuck him in the training hall. So yeah, so Stobbie is our first or I will be a hammer raider as soon as I have one more fight. And then probably B Campana, yeah, he's got dots of exactly where you want to have them. Pi is a flail raider, I still need to get him a big 2-handed orc flail. Krytar's already a sword raider, but that makes sense, he doesn't have any melee skill stars. Anders. I would take on this 3 skull, but we've got to be a touch careful. We've got a bunch of 1-star guys. What is this? Deliver cargo, 600. Helmeln. I don't want to go back to the other side of the map. Let's see how far it is and how much it's paying us. Helmeln. Was it Helmeln? Did I misread that? God, I forgot how infested this map is with orcs. Himmel. Am I taking crazy pills? Wolf's Wall? There it is. It's like 2 days march and it's entirely the wrong way. So let's say thank you for thinking of us, but the Davkul's chosen has something else to do. 3 skulls, green skins. No thanks. It's just too difficult. I'm very conscious of the fact that we've gotten ourselves a few promising recruits who are going to be 18, but they're level 1. So now's not the time to be taking 3 skull missions and getting them killed. Oh, that's good coffee. We want low risk, dependable money. So 2 skull missions. The only 3 skulls we'll take on are delivery missions, or the occasional escort mission. Because if it's an escort mission and it's too difficult, we'll just run away and not do the fighting. See, we'll take a look at this. This is 1600 to hunt down. I need some time to think. Let's take a look at what we can put together in terms of our group of lads. How are we for spears and swords? Because if it's Nachtzeers or dire wolves, I mean, look, we've all got basic mail. I think we should take this on. Let's be brave and take it on. We've got axes, we've got pikes, which are nice and accurate. I'll tell you what. Let's hand out spears across the board. Or at least as secondary items. Secondary weapons, excuse me, not items. Kind of it feels like a waste for Krytar. I think he'd be better off with a shield. I mean, he is a sword. He is a sword specialist. But that means then I need to put someone who's fairly tough on that flank. I'll go like that, because I don't want to have the sword in the flank, because they'll just flood over that side of the formation. If it's Nachtzeers, oh man, having 0 ranged people, 0 ranged archers is no good, because you want to be able to take a few shots and soften them up. So let's compromise it a little bit. We'll put in Jungian. And who's got the highest ranged skill? 38, 39. There's 39 there on Anders. I'm also half tempted to just take a look and see at what it is, because if we've got quick hands on some of these guys, so someone like Krytar, we could try something a little bit different. Oh, but he's only got the 1 ranged weapon, okay. Just bear in mind that some of the guys that have quick hands, like Pi, could be a good option here. I could give him a crossbow bolt. He could maybe get 1 or 2 shots off before whatever it is we're up against hits us. You know what? That's crazy talk. Let's not do that. I accept. This is going to be difficult and dangerous, especially because we're fighting in the mountains. Whatever it is that we're up against, we don't want to fight them in the mountains. Hopefully it's Nachtzeers. They're a bit easier to manage than the wolves. I really don't like fighting dire wolves. That's 11 dire wolves. Good lord, that's terrifying. We're getting paid 2,000 gold though, so it's worth it. As long as I can get everyone out through this alive, I'll be pleased. It might also be worth being quite aggressive early on, because with these wolves, if you can kill 1 or 2 of them or injure 1 or 2 of them in those first few rounds, you can start a chain morale break. Half thinking about fighting them in the swamp. Okay, but this is super risky. And let's just bear in mind that we're low on food. We've got 1,600 crowns. If it looks like we're going to start getting wiped, we'll just run away and take the injuries, because we should be able to scratch back to survival. Basically, that's something we can come back from. We know it's going to be wolves, so we want spears to start with, and then swords on whoever has quick hands. So like Pi, even though he's a flail master, he'll do better with a sword once they've gotten past the spear wall. Oh God, I'm so worried about these 2 level 1s. I wonder if I shouldn't put some of my Huskarls on the front line. Actually, Anders, sorry, with 49 accuracy, you are not going to hit a damn thing, are you? And even though of no consequence is a axe master, the pike is more likely to hit, so we'll use that. This is really scary. 11 dire wolves is really scary. But the payday is amazing. I'll just have to hope that none of them run straight into melee contact. Just like that. Not ideal. This is really bad. Oh God. Okay, so what do we have going for us? Krytar can attack 2 wolves at a time with his big greatsword. And we have got adrenaline on a bunch of the Huskarls in the back line. Oh jeez, I was just assuming that Pakaisis had a net equipped. What up, Wild Balance? You're just in time. This is legit scary. Let's focus down whichever ones we can. With only 19 melee defense. Okay, I think we're going to have to put shields up. Everybody on the front line. So spears wherever possible. Have you got quick hands? Golgotha, you don't. So take a stab. Shield up. Campana, you're level 1. Oh God. Good hit. Well done, mate. Pardon? No quick hands. But I'm gonna go pull out my roundel because that's gonna let me get a shield up and attack 1. Oh jeez, like on the next turn then, I mean. Krytar, I need this to hit. Oh jeez, that one dodged it. Damn. Okay, don't attack that one, he's already fleeing. Just gonna keep using adrenaline until my Huskarls are exhausted. Jesus, each of these things attack 3 times. This is so scary. We are so fucked. The fact that we killed one and have panicked another one already is good. This next round, oh God, that's very scary. Golgotha! Giving him the surround. Great shot, Jungian. Okay, we need to support up on the northern flank here. This whole formation is kind of collapsing on us. Oh, I was hoping he would break. Golgotha. Survive, buddy. I think we have to sacrifice the dog here just to stop him from getting completely surrounded. Sorry, wolf. Noble dog. Oh, that's huge. Okay. Golgotha's not out of it yet. Oh, for God's sake, Krytar. I need these ones. Oh, what? Fucker. Oh, that's good. Good hit. I can't get into attack range of anything here, so... Well, just these two, I suppose. Oh, God, I can't watch. Good boy. Oh, that good dog. Look at him dodging. Good boy, wolf. Oh, it's a good boy. Give him a Scooby snack. Give him all the Scooby snacks. In case you can't tell, I fucking love dogs. Oh, and I love crossbowmen as well. Awesome. Okay, so... Okay, I think we've done it. Love it. I thought I'd go for the puncture there, knowing that it's most likely to break his morale. Now it's Operation Save the Dog. I'm not even bothering attacking the ones that are fleeing. I'm not out of this yet. Damn, Krata can't get an attack off. And this turn. He probably can quick hands his sword out and take a slash. Oh, the thing is, if Wolf takes another hit, he's dead. Hopefully, if these ones get killed as they run, they'll make the other ones break and flee. Oh, Wolf! We will avenge you, brave dog. Brave hound. Well, Balance, remind me what name you submitted. I don't recall. Oh, come on, break, you bugger. Nightmare, you are one of the frontline guys, I reckon. That's Stobbie, Hakon, Campana. We'll take a look after the fight. I'm pretty sure you're a raider and you are in action. Okay, good. So that fight went exceptionally well. I think the Huskarls are actually our MVP in this fight. Those pikes and the adrenaline combining with the pike usage was amazing in those first few turns. Also, Jungian did his part. Kazatop, Cassis, Krata, Jungian. I think you're on the bench for this fight. Probably for the best. This was a very scary one. Right, so Krata, he's still got his shield, good man. Back on the flank. We can go back to our usual weapons now. Away with the spears. Capana, nice little level up there. I really need a hammer for him. Anders, Nightmare, there you are. You're out with an injured knee. B Team Raider. You've got a star in melee defense and a star in fatigue. It's still decent. At level 255, if he gets fortunate with his level ups, he might hit 70 to 80 eventually, which is not perfect or great or anything, but it's okay. Right, so Percassus, obviously resolve, range defense, and I reckon fatigue. Footwork, so you can disengage. Campana. Oof, hit points are terrible. Let's go for Colossus. I've been playing a bit on an offline campaign as well. And I'm convinced that at level 1 you want to be taking student just to accelerate your leveling up. But part of what we're trying to achieve this campaign is try things, do things differently. So we're going straight for Colossus. And while I feel like taking Colossus at level 1 has helped with survivability, I don't think the trade-off in terms of the acceleration to the higher levels, most notably Battle Forged is one of the most important skills. I don't think it's worth it. Okay, so we'll take Hammer Mastery, even though we don't actually have a hammer for you to use yet. I need you to have Hammer Mastery, Stobbie. But eventually we'll have a two-handed hammer on each of the flanks, and then a two-handed sword towards the center of the formation. And I think it's going to be good. Anders, why are you only content? Okay, well, anyway. Well fought, men. Let's take a look at the fatigue. I mean, if I can justify giving a full kite shield to some of these guys, I will do so. 76, 86, he's already wearing, using a kite shield. Well fought. 2,000 gold. Ching ching. So doing the 3 skull missions can be scary, but it's absolutely worth it. Let's take a look at the death list, the obituary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's too many. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Particularly Griff. I was gutted about losing Griff. He was very promising. He had good star distribution. Sorry, Griff. Just as we run out of food. Get yourself some goat's cheese, man. That's cheap tools. Let's take a look at what the mission is that's being offered to us. I think we can get a better price than 30 gold for these wolf pelts. But we do want to keep moving towards the northeast. 2 skulls, go greenskins rampaging. How much are you going to pay for it? 1620. I'll do that. With greenskins pre-day 50, it's likely to only be orc young. Good, we need to go east anyway. And with a decent spear wall and some crossbow shots, we should be able to get through it without too much trouble. Ooh, undead, 13 of them. That's just a free XP grind. Let's go do that. Awesome, and we'll bear in mind, let's just remember that hut is there, because eventually we'll take the destroy places beset by undead. And that'll be a nice easy one of the 4 to do. It's just undead, so we're not going to need fancy weapons, just swords is enough. Let's go with boar spears. Unless you have a weapon mastery already. A decent little start too, in terms of location. Height advantage and all. Stobbie's going to have to move though. I can go to that spot, so that's not too bad. Okay, let's wait. God, I miss having so many archers like in the previous season. On my offline campaign, I'm also really, I call it the test subjects because I test out different stuff. I've also, it's day 50 and I haven't been able to get any good archers. I've only got the 1 crossbowman. It's just not enough. I think having 4 is bloody great, but the trade-off then is you don't get any husk skulls that have adrenaline and shield breaking and rotation to save people. So my intuition tells me that what we're doing in this campaign, having two sergeant, 2 crossbowmen, or bowmen, whatever you prefer, and then 2 husk skulls is a nice, what's the word? Compromise. It's a good compromise. Hold your position, men. They're on their way. I'll take a look-see at what Picassus's skills look like, because some of the back line, like in this instance, you can make a good argument for taking quick hands and letting them loose off some crossbow shots as the enemies approach, but then the problem with that is you're running into a situation where, great, you get some essentially bonus damage because it's in the fact that it's damage you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. But then when it gets really tough, when it comes down to it, and they're fighting a difficult fight where they want to be using their pikes, which do more than the crossbows, all the skills, stat points and perks you've put into letting them use crossbows just aren't being used. Is there any reason to use a spear wall? I don't think so. This is not that threatening. Save your fatigue, rather. two-handed weapon out. Now we can start waiting. They should hit our front lines this turn. Zombies. I'll take that armor for sure, and I'll take that armor. Yeah, we need to upgrade all these worn chain to basic chain for the front lines and even the back lines. One shot. Get wrecked. Kogatha. Yeah, you're fine just using a spear, I reckon. Pick one and kill it. Oh, almost. I can't wait until we eventually have two crossbowmen with tier 3 crossbows. It's going to be great. We're going to one-shot things. Also, one thing I tested on my offline campaign, which was quite worth it on my archers, I take Headhunter. Because normally you don't want Headhunter on a weapon because, you know, usually you're hitting the body and then when you hit the head, you're hitting an armored head where the enemy that you're hitting has an unarmored body. But with a crossbow, as we felt by being shot by crossbows, and because 70% of the damage pierces armor, and then the damage that gets through is increased by 50% because it hit the head, you can very easily one-shot a lot of the enemies in the game if you hit them in the head with a crossbow master. Do I want to bother daggering this guy? I don't think so. We've got plenty of that worn chain already. Oh, god damn it, Kraita! Guys, what is this zombie? What are you missing zombies for? It's just standing there. Like, if anything's dummy practice, it's this. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. God, Patton's dangerous with that dagger. Man, I'm telling you, dagger masters with roundels are not to be fucked with. I also found a legendary dagger, looked like a Chris on my offline campaign. It had 30% ignores armor and 90% effective against armor. I mean, if you can get a couple of those on your front line, you got some pretty scary guys. Right, Pie, pop that zombie's head open, please. Good dodging. Owie. We have to address that problem because now Stobbie doesn't have a weapon that he can actually dagger that zombie down with, which is no good. How about you, Hakon? You've got a dagger. Let's finish up there and go help him. Kogatha. No AP left. Stobbie. You just gotta kind of stand there for now. Well, you know what? Knock him away and go fight these zombies. Yeah, that'll be good. I think this one should come fight Davkul. Height disadvantage and all. Padden. It's quite a satisfying snick sound that the dagger makes. God dang it. Oh, lovely. Good hit. Disgusting zombie bastards. Stobbie's running around like, I want to kill something! Everyone's like, careful, don't damage the armor! How about you, Kraton? No dagger. There's actually a knife somewhere on the ground here. No, the zombie that was carrying the knife didn't drop it. Campana. Oh yeah, dagger time. What a monster. Pattern is steal that. There you go. Because I'm expecting the zombie to get up one more time. Good lord, well done. Nice. 2 sets of basic mail. It's not much of an improvement over the worn chain, but it looks better, and it's obviously very important. There you go, Hakon. 5 more points of body armor. GG. How are we for tools? We're grand for tools. Let's repair all of this stuff. I'm actually half tempted to make someone a military cleaver master. Take that specialization, but nah, I'm not against the undead. You're a Huskal, so you get ranged defense, melee skill. Some nice stats here on Hakon. Fatigue or hit points? I think hit points because, yeah, I'm not going to have to take Colossus on him, which is bloody great. Although I want to get Anders the Raider back on the front line. Let's put one of the B team Huskals. These are all A team. Wow. So it's Hakon. Only one of the Huskals actually already has rotation, so he can take the day off basically. While we get some seasoning on the other one. Kazathor, level 5, nice. He's getting up there in levels. He's got the 45 resolve he needs, so no more points in resolve is needed. So now that the choice is between rotation or axe mastery, and I think rotation is probably an investment in keeping the other guys alive. Think of it that way, yeah. Kogatler, Mace Master. You could make an argument for making him a raider actually, but I've already leveled him up in a way that it's not going to make a lot of sense. Let's just take Mace Mastery for the reliable stun. Okay, so that's the hit points, all the hit points he needs. And let's go with melee defense. Okay, 76 hit points. His fatigue could be higher, but at least we don't have to put any more points into hit points. Stat points, that is. Next level he'll take footwork. The front 5 take footwork, and then Battleforged, and they go back for Underdog, whereas the Raiders take Underdog and Battleforged first, because obviously the guys on the flanks are more likely to get completely surrounded, so they need the Underdog before they get the fancy footwork skill. It's a nice little robust lineup we got here. 14 good lads. Okay. Mace specialist, yes. Flail specialist, excellent. Dagger specialist, level 1 and level 2. That's the weak spot in our formation so far. I wonder wonder if I can't strengthen that just by splitting up the 2 level 1s like that. Yeah, it's better. Well, you know what? With 63 melee accuracy, you go for a long axe, mate. Hakon Haskell, let's give you a sword to back you up with. We don't have a dagger going spare, so... Actually, with footwork now, I don't have to carry melee weapons for Jungian. You can just carry spare, or like some javelins maybe, or some spare quiver. Is he ever really going to need it? I'm not so sure. I'll tell you what, hang on to the pike. Excellent. Let's go hunt some orcs. We'll come back for those zombies. I've also tried to get out of the habit of destroying these little houses, the ruins. I wait until I get patrol missions, or like in this case, the destroy places inhabited by orcs. That should actually be a fairly simple one for us, because we've got 3 little huts, or 3 of these little covens, which don't actually have that many orcs in them. And that's 3 right there, which should be fairly, or comparatively easier ones to kill. And there's a 4th one there. So once we complete this, if we can, our next ambition will be clear out orc dens. Which also gives us the necklace of bones, makes 1 person immune to getting stunned, which is quite cool. We actually need to distribute spears again, just so we can start with a spear wall. Right, where are these green skinned fuckers? Oh, and then we got 13 orc young. Okay. If we just careful, oh nice, bit of high ground there for us. We'll just move back a bit. A lot of how well this is going to go will depend on whether we can maintain our spear wall for any length of time and do damage that way. There might be a fair amount of shield wall holding. That one's scary, that cleaver. I fucking hate that cleaver. It does so much damage. These orcs acted before we did, so I think I do need to drop them out the spear wall now. They can go 1, 2, and then charge. Yeah. If you really want to be conservative with your fatigue, you can actually try alternating between putting down the spear wall. So like these guys rest while they keep the spear wall down, because look, so Anders is covering those blocks and Campana is covering, so technically using Paddon for his spear wall now is a waste. Let's work on that theory. I've never actually done that before. I mean, the downside is if one of these orcs overcome his spear wall, then it only has to roll once. Because I mean, I think if you have both spears down, the orc has to roll the 2-hit chance for both of your soldiers. I think. God, I wish we had more crossbowmen. Pierce leg muscle, so that's melee defense reduction. We are going to focus down this one with this cleaver first. Then the axes. Yeah, the axes are a little scary. 87, miss. And no fishing nets. Fuck it, let's go full spear wall. This is scary. Oof, uses a lot of fatigue. But hell, if it keeps them off us, worth it. Oh, okay, the charge will come next turn. Some of those orcs are wisely running away. This wall of spikes must be quite scary for them to run into. And there's a pleasing lack of shields on a lot of them. Yeah, they're going to make us hold the spear wall for one more turn, the fuckers. Don't mind this actually, it gives Jungian more time just to go to work really. Okay, they actually... Okay, so in that case then let's alternate between spear wall and resting. So spear, rest, other way around. So I'm like inviting them to come into this little spot here. I've never seen orcs do this before, just throwing toothpicks at us. I don't mind that. Their javelins are extremely unlikely to hit, throwing from 4 squares, and even if they do, they don't do terrifying amounts of damage. I'm very, very happy to just exchange one crossbow bolt a turn. Pick off this bugger and maybe that one. I'd love to know what the orc's range skill is anyway. It can't be a lot. The only time I've ever been hit by them when they throw toothpicks is when they have height advantage. It's also quite fatiguing for them as well. It's like a third of their fatigue. It seems like kind of a waste shooting at this one without any armor. 90%, it still missed that one, but luckily the bolt that went astray did its thing. So you guys are resting this turn. Kolgata, you're also resting. Oh, I got that wrong. Okay, we've got to switch it up on the next turn. Man, if we had our 4 archers set up in this mission, they would have been running at us already. Slow war of attrition so far, but one that suits us, so I don't mind at all. So I should have been shooting at that bugger. 2 more crossbow bolts, he'll go down. You can make the argument, run at them while they have their range weapons equipped, because they have to spend AP to put the range weapon away, but each of them only has 1 or 2 more toothpicks left that they can throw, and I don't want to abandon my high ground. You see, there they go. Then they're done. I don't think any of these javelins actually hit us. Oh, so close! Campana, what's your weapon? Just a spear. Patton, I need you to actually keep a spear down here, because that square is still open. Well, you know what? Save your fatigue. I think he'll, you know, prepare your roundel. He'll do more work with his dagger. What's nice is we only now in melee combat with them, and we've already damn near killed one and badly wounded another. As long as we can kill the ones with the cleavers before they get any hits off, because the cleavers are legit terrifying. Look at what the numbers are on the cleaver at the end of this battle. Because it's not just how much damage they do, it's how much armor. They wreck armor and inflict huge bleeding. Ouch. It's another thing I have to remind myself. I need to get out of the habit of equipping this helm during the day. It's a bit of a waste. One down. 12 to go. Yeah, we're gonna get surrounded here. Kogato, you are a mace specialist. Get macing. Ah, damn it. Any clear shots? 81% at this guy. Good, breaking. We should also start winning the morale war of attrition. Pie of 12, what else are you working with? A flail. Are their turns all done? See, I'm tempted to actually move the spear wall up. Hem these guys in. Yeah, you don't like that, do you? It's such an innocuous little snick sound of that dagger, but my god, it does damage. Stuns, annoying. The clubs hurt, but they don't do nearly as much damage as these bladed weapons. Oh, didn't like that, did you? This worries me though. This Orc Young might be able to hit that spot and completely surround Kratar. Kratar needs to keep his shield up for the next few turns. Yeah, look at that. Okay, it's time to be aggressive on these ones now, so I can fold up that side of their ranks. Shit, he's stunned now. I can't keep his shield up. Come on, I need these guys to start fleeing and hopefully start the chain panics. Oof, we can't take much more of that. Stobbie, what are you working with? A woodcutter's axe. Yeah, they all act in a few turns. They're still gonna go. What the hell? Get in there. Good. I think that's the shot I want to take, although no, the cleaver is more scary. Also, this Orc Young's not going to attack Kratar, it's going to attack that dude. Ah, probably should have taken the normal dagger swipes there. Oh, good. It's hurting the morale. Excellent. I'm very worried about Kratar though. Only 58 hit points of armor left. If he gets hit twice by that Orc Young with the axe, he's probably dead. So much so that it's actually worth moving Picassus here so I can take a stab at that Orc. Fuck. Oh, that's huge. Stobbie, get your axe out, I think. Has this one gone yet? Yes, he's already attacked. So the question is, do I go for the 64% attack or do I go for the shield break? I think 64, yeah, worth going for. If it's above 50, just take it. Woo! Well fought, men. It's not over yet. We still got to get out of this without any deaths. Nice. That's me. Awesome. Okay, good. That's done. I'm very pleased we got through this. Okay, that one's still holding an axe, which is... I mean, considering we only have one ranged fighter, I'm quite pleased with that. Slay them. He doesn't like that dagger. Run away! Oh, Kratos, double kill. We should get a bloody glorious amount of XP out of this as well. Well fought. 211, 250. Nice bit of extra money from those orc weapons. Which one of my viewers pointed out, it's well worth repairing them before selling them. Earlier on, in one of the earlier episodes, I didn't do so. I think, if memory serves at the time, or here's my excuse at least, I didn't have enough tools, and if you're having to spend more than like 250 on 20 tools, I don't know exactly what it is, but there is an economic point where it's diminishing returns. Like if you're paying a certain amount, I'd say above 250 for a stack of tools, it wouldn't be worth repairing the weapons, because you obviously got to offset the cost of the tools. Yes, anyway, I wanted to look at this head chopper. So 40 to 70, but 110 against armor. That's fucking terrifying. Okay, so Wild Balance asks, what sort of orc would you say these particular orcs remind you more of? Warcade, I think D&D, yeah. For me, they seem more like more generic D&D style orcs. They don't have the wonderful Cockney charm of the of the Warhammer orcs. With my shooter, need more Daka. Obviously, very different canon. That. Okay, so standard. Oh God, that's no good. He's a fucking coward, this guy. Well, we can offset that by keeping him near the center of the formation, and he's an A-team raider. Okay. Kratar, you are actually a B-team raider, not an A-team raider, because you don't have any stars in your melee skill. So 62 isn't bad, but 62 at level 6 is not great. I mean, he gets plus 5 to hit, so it's 67, but that's not good enough. Flail Raider, oh nice, our first Battle Forged, good man. 66 at level 7, also not great. 3 stars is wonderful, but he started with such low melee skill. He's got plenty of fatigue. I think, yeah, so 45. You know what? 50. Let's make resolve 50 as a minimum for everyone. We are going to be fighting a fair old wallop of scary undead zombos, so... Do I need to take Colossus? Let's see what the numbers are like on hit points. I think it's probably worth it. I don't have to put anything into resolve. Well, no, I only have to do that once for resolve, let's say. Yeah, let's take Colossus. The only other thing I would have taken except for Colossus would have been Student. So hang on, so he's at 66 even with Colossus. Okay, wow, that's not great. I'm going to have to give him a few more level up stats there. It's nice that we've gotten our hands on some more of these feral shields. They're going to come in handy when we're fighting enemies with ranged weaponry. It just so happens I wanted to be here to see if I can find a hunter. No, just poachers. Oh god, I love wild men. $350, that's a decent price. In fact, let's liquidate all our assets here that we don't need. Berries, nice and cheap. Wood, nice and cheap. That's oh, food prices are wonderfully cheap. Bloody bargain, mate. Bloody bargain. Don't need that crossbow. Yeah, it's not a cultist, yeah, but I mean, eventually, I'm hoping that they'll start getting converted. I love wild men. They tend to have like 120 fatigue to start with. I mean, fine, you know, they do get a touch murdery sometimes when they're in a village. But I mean, come on, who doesn't? Sometimes get a bit murdery. Come over, all psychotic. But you are correct, though. We've only got 2 cultists so far, so 2 out of the 14 men that we have are cultists. Of course, we just need to hope to get as many of those conversion events as we can, and we'll always say yes. And whenever we find a cultist, no matter how bad their stats or their skulls or skills or anything are, we'll hire them and keep them in the roster. Because I haven't had it confirmed, but I suspect that the more cultists you have, the more likely it is that you'll get the conversion event. You can even make the argument for no matter how bad they are, if they're cultists, we have to keep them. Just to keep it within the roleplay, what we're trying to do here. God, these mountains suck. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if you can't actually convert to Witch Hunter, because it kind of makes sense that Witch Hunters are there to root out heretics, and I'm sure they consider cultists to be heretics. Well, this is double speed. Come on, move your ass. We've got 2 great paydays in the last 2 missions. We've made, I think it was 2,000 gold and 1620. Bloody marvelous. Have we gotten the increased inventory size yet? We have. Wonderful. Wonderful. Ooh, and a 3 skull straight away. Cultists? Nope. So 209. They were 170 before they were repaired. I'm not convinced it was worth repairing them. But again, it depends on how much it would have cost to actually repair them. Don't need that or that. Don't need that. Do I need 2 spare maces? I think I've already got 1. Let's take a little look-see what the weapon setups are. Actually, Campana, you can, every now and then you can use a woodcutter's axe. Although with 57 accuracy, you're never going to bloody well use it, so... never be able to hit with it, I mean. So you felt useless in reserve, didn't you? No, you didn't. Okay. God, this knee is still buggered. Stock up on goat's cheese. Those tools are reasonable. We're getting to the money stage where we can start buying some nice armor, but given the amount of raiders we have and the lack of raiding two-handed weapons, I reckon we should buy some nice big two-handed weapons. We'll buy a two-handed warhammer first of all, so that Stobbie can make use of it, and then maybe even another great sword, because who's our next highest level raider? Okay, Campana's level 3 and level 2. Okay, well, we'll buy one. Okay, no, we'll buy the two-handed great sword, great hammer, excuse me, for Stobbie, and then once the other two reach level 5, we'll think of doing something else. Got a ways to go yet. We'll get there.